Hey guys, the Miniature Pocket 2 is a very popular camera to use for walking tours due to its miniature size and its built-in gimbal. So if you're new to this camera or would like to know what is the best settings to use for walking tours with the Pocket 2, then it's coming up. Okay, first of all, there is no right answer for which settings to use to make walking tours with the DJI Pocket 2. To call them best settings is very subjective, so these are my best settings that work for me, but they may not be best for you. But they may be useful as a starting point so that you can tweak them for your own tastes. So let me know, of course, in the comments which you use or which ones you've changed. Alright, let's get straight into it. So firstly, resolution. And I always set mine to 4K resolution to ensure the best video quality out of the image sensor. And I put in a 128GB storage card and then clear it after each shoot so that space doesn't become an issue. Next, frame rate, and this is a bone of contention, and I always set it to 30 frames per second, and the reason for this is that for me, for my personal tastes, this is the most natural frame rate to capture the scene in front of me in real time. So why not 24 frames or 25 frames per second? For me, these can cause jitter or stutter when panning the camera. And I will soon post a video just demonstrating and explaining this issue, so I suggest that you subscribe to the channel and so that you become notified when this comes out. And why not 60 or 50 frames per second? And the only reasons why you want to capture using a high frame rate is if you're producing the next version of Avatar and you are James Cameron, and you need to capture high-speed action, or you indeed need to slow down the footage in post-production afterwards. Now, if you don't wish to edit your videos or you have a need to slow down the footage, then 30 frames per second is absolutely more than adequate. Besides, video captured at 60 frames per second will play back at 60 frames per second, so no viewer of the video will notice a difference. And this is going to chew up storage space and take an age to upload and process on YouTube. Next, exposure. Now, if you want to do something quick and easy, just set the auto exposure and let the camera do the work. However, if you wish to make your walking videos more professional, then you don't want any exposure changes while you're walking around. So head to the settings on the Pocket 2 by swiping down from the top, then swipe to the right till you see the Pro mode and ensure that it's switched on. Back on the main screen, tapping the top right of the screen will allow you to change the exposure. Tap on the exposure and set the ISO on the right to auto max 400 if it's daylight. Now this will give the Pocket 2 a little bit of wiggle room to raise the light levels if it needs to, while keeping the best quality and the least noisy footage. Next, at a suitable point just before walking, set the light compensation levels by using the scroller on the left hand side until you reach a level where the sky is not too washed out, but you've still got a good exposure on the rest of the scene. Okay, so I find going to the negative numbers are the best. So to get this EV compensation display, ensure that it's set to auto on the right hand side. Now, next, white balance. And I just leave this to automatic as the Pocket 2 does a pretty good job of doing this and there's no reason to change it. I also ensure that autofocus is left as continuous so the Pocket 2 handles the focus as we walk around. I also leave the colour mode to normal to leave the most natural colour. Lastly, the gimbal modes themselves. And I use FPV or pan follow mode rather than tilt lock. And I find that these two modes give me the most freedom to look up at buildings, statues or other objects without finding that the gimbal won't move because it's been locked in that particular axis. But that's just my personal preference. If you're interested, I have a whole video dedicated to this particular topic, experimenting with the different gimbal modes for walking videos so that you can see the results for yourself. So check out that link in the description and somewhere up here. Alright, so that pretty much covers what I think are the best settings for walking tours for the DJI Pocket 2. So that's pretty much it for this video, and that's the settings I use for the Pocket 2 when making walking videos. Now let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with any of the settings. That would be very useful to know. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a nice big thumbs up and a comment, and even better if you can subscribe to the channel because it certainly helps me build up into future videos like this. Take care, and I shall see you soon in another video.